guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to learn that how to do programming for start. As I told you in my previous video also that in next video we are going to learn that how to create a menu driven program on the concepts push, pop and reverse. And we have also learned that what is called push and what is called pop. And these two are the basic operations of stack. So let us start with it. So first we are going to start with push operation. Push means inserting the elements in stack. And as I told you earlier also that we are going to implement stack with the help of list. So let us start with stack as a list. So we have taken one empty list and the variable name is stack. And as I told you that insertion and deletion always take place from one end only, which is known as top. So top we are going to initialize as 0 because right now my top is empty. There is no element in it. Okay. So let us start with defining a function. So I'm going to take the function name as push and I'm going to pass two variables over here, two parameters over here, start and top. So now I'm going to run my while loop so that as many as number of times I need to insert the elements, I'll be able to. So here I'm going to take one variable for accepting a number. So input, I'll be writing enter a number. Okay, so we have accepted a number. Now what do I need to do? I need to take a variable which can hold this number in the form of a list. So I have taken one REC variable which is holding my number variable in the form of a list. So one record, one element is stored in the form of list. Now, we have taken one empty list also as stack. So what am I going to do? I'm going to add this record into my list stack. So I have done this. Append is the functionality of my list which is used to add the elements in the list. So stack is my list variable and append is the function and we have passed REC variable inside the round bracket. That means this particular element or list I'm going to add or append in the stack list. So I have done this. After that, I'm going to calculate the top because the lists are mutable in nature, which means we can add the elements in our list and we can remove also the elements from the list. So the size of the list varies according to the number of elements in it. So each and every time I need to calculate the top element, that where is it right now? How many elements are there in my list? So how can we calculate it? We have length function for the same. So if I pass stack inside my length function, the length of the stack will be calculated. But as we know that the index positions of my list always starts with 0. So I need to subtract 1 out of the length. So if 5 elements are there, then my length will show 5, but the index values will vary from 0 to 4. And fourth index position I can get only if I am subtracting 1 out of the given length. So I have done it. I have calculated the top index position also. Now I am passing one statement that do you want to add more records? Right. So I'm taking one th variable for the same. And if I want, then I will be giving the input. And now I'm checking if th is equal to n or th is equal to n. So I'm checking for the possibility of both in both the ways that n can be typed as capital also, n can be typed as small n also in the form of no. that I don't want to add the record. So if you don't want to add the record, then break keyword we are using. That means will come out from the while loop. Else, if I want to continue to add more records, then I will use the continue keyword over here. And continue will take me back to my while loop. So this is how we use it. This is the use of break and continue. So my function is completed. That means I have done how to add records or elements in the stack. So let us recapitulate it. First, we are accepting a number which I am going to add in my stack. Then I have taken one list variable, which is adding this num variable in the form of a list. Then finally, we are adding this record in the list stack. And then we are calculating the length of our stack and finding out the location of topmost element. Then we are checking that do we want to add more records? If yes, then we'll continue adding this. Otherwise, we will come out from the loop. Now, if I say push, I'm going to call it. So the name of my function is this, and I'm going to pass stack and top variables in this. Let's run it. F5. Enter the number. Let's say 1. It is asking me, do you want to add more records? Yes, I want to add. Enter the number 2. Do you want to add more records? No, I don't want to add. And finish. Because I have not written the code for displaying all the elements of the stack onto the screen. So it is finished till here only. That means I have given 2 inputs and automatically these 2 inputs are added into my stack. Now, I'm going to learn that how to display the elements from the stack. And this operation is known as traversal. So let us start with it. And how can we define it? Def traverse. Now again I'm going to pass this stack variable inside it. Then first we need to calculate the top value, because top only defines that how many number of elements are there. If my top is pointing towards third memory location, that means 4 elements are there in my stack. If top is pointing towards second memory location in the stack, that means 3 number of elements are there in my list. 0 to 2, 0, 1, 2. Total number of elements are 3. So if I get to know about the topmost element index position, it will become easier for me to reach to each and every element in the stack. So as we have learned in our push operation also that how to calculate top. So length of stack minus 1. Okay. Now I have calculated. Now suppose that what if my stack is empty? If my stack is empty, nothing will be displayed onto the output screen. And if the elements are there, that means my stack is not empty, then as many as number of elements are there will be displayed one by one. So I need to check for both the possibilities. So I'm going to check if top is less than 0. Why am I writing less than 0? Because if top is equal to 0, that means there is one element at least in my stack at 0th index position. But if it is minus 1, that means the stack is empty. So if the condition becomes true, then I'll be printing underflow. That means stack is empty. I can write over here stack is empty also. But if elements are there, then what should I do? I need to print one statement. Stack elements are. Now, I'm going to use for loop to traverse each and every element of the list, because stack is basically my list, nothing else. But as we have learned, the element which is inserted at the end is my topmost element. So for example, I have inserted 3 elements, 1, 2, and 3. So it will not be displayed as 1, 2, and 3. It will be displayed as 3, 2, 1. Because third element is my topmost element. And in the container, my first element is placed at the bottom. Please understand this concept. The first element is placed at the bottom and the last element is placed at the top. That means I'm going to represent my list in the reverse order. So for reverse order, what should I write? For I in range, I'm going to start with the topmost element -1. So that -1 plus 1 will become 0. That means top to 0 in reverse order. I'm coming down. So I'm moving in descending order basically. And because I'm moving in descending order in reverse order, so my step value should be -1. This is the concept of my range function inside for loop. And this is the same concept under the slicing of my string as. So we have learned it multiple number of times that -1 step value will reverse the string or the list or the tuple, whichever, whatever you are going to display. So after this, I should write print stack of I. Because if I'll be printing print of I, it will print the index position. But I want to display the element which is placed, which is stored at that particular index location. So the way for fetching that particular element out of the index position, we always write in this way. That means the name of the variable and square brackets and then my iterative variable inside it. So my traversal is also completed. So what am I going to do? I'm going to call that also. Traverse stack. Shall we run it? Yes. F5. Okay. Now it is asking me enter the number 1. Yes, I want to add more. Enter the number 2. Yes, I want to add one more element. So 3. And now no, I don't want to add any more records. So my stack elements are displayed in reverse order 3, 2, 1. 1 is placed at the bottom in the container, then 2, and then 3 is my topmost element. Now what do I want? When the stack elements will be displayed onto my output screen, then it should mark the topmost element. And how can we do it? We can just do some modifications in my traversal. How? I can write over here print stack of top. Okay. So if the top is calculated as 2, then stack of 2 will be printed over there, comma. I can write top in this way. Okay. And because my topmost element is already printed inside this print statement, so I need not to run the for loop from top. I will run it from top -1. So that the next element in the sequence will be printed. So F5 key again, press enter. 1, yes, 2, yes, 3, now no. And now my 3 elements are printed in this way and my topmost element is pointing towards 3. That this is my top element, right? So this is how we traverse a stack. So we are basically working upon the list. But along with the list, we are utilizing the concept of stack. This is only the difference. Now, as I told you that we'll learn how to create menu-driven programming. So I'm going to start with it. So I'm going to start with my while loop, while true. So let me create that. If I'll be pressing 1, then that means I'm going to use the push operation. If I'll be using my second point, then that means I'm going to do the pop operation. Then third is my traverse. Okay. And then fourth, I can write as exit. Fine. That's it. And now take an option. Option is equal to int input. Enter your choice. I guess this we have learned many number of times that how to create a menu driven program. So it is easier for us to understand this time. And if my option is equal to 1, so it is indicating push operation. So what am I going to do? I'm going to call this push operation inside here. Okay. And then LF option is equal to 3. Then I'm going to call this traverse. Yeah. And then LF option is equal to 4. Then I'm going to write exit. Okay. So in place of exit, we can write break also. And my menu driven program is completed according to my two functions. So let's run it once. F5 key. Now it is asking me enter your choice. So I want to perform push operation. Enter the number 1. Do you want to add yes? No, I don't want to add more records. So enter your choice. Now I want to display everything. So my choice is third for traversal. So now my elements are displayed in the form of stack. And my topmost element is 2 because this is the last element which I inserted in my stack. Now we need to work upon pop. That means how can we delete the elements from stack. So as I told you that the deletion also takes place from topmost element. So let's start with it. Let me write over here the code for pop also, that if my option is 2, then I should call pop operation and stack comma top. So 2, let me write it correctly. Stack. So we are going to pass 2 parameters in my pop operation also, and after pop, I'm going to create it. So define pop and pass 2 variables stack and then top. Now, in pop operation also, I need to check whether the elements are there in my stack or my stack is empty. So the same operation is going to work over there, Control C, and I'm going to copy it. That first I'm calculating the top, and then I'm checking if my top is less than 0, then print underflow. That means there is no element in the stack to be deleted, right? And if there is an element, then we are working upon else statement. So let me adjust this. I'm coming over here. And how to pop out any element from the list? We have direct function by the name POP. As we are using append for adding the element in the list, similarly we have pop function for the removal of element from the list. So what am I going to do? I'm going to take the value from stack.pop, and because the deletion will take from one end only, so I need not to pass any particular index value or anything into my round brackets of pop, because we know that the deletion will take place from the topmost element. After that, I can print one statement after the removal, that the topmost element is deleted, right? So shall we work? We have done it. So F5 key. Okay. Now I'm going to choose 1 so that I can fill the element. So 1, yes, I want to insert more. 2, yes, I want to insert more. 3, no, I don't want to insert more elements. So now third, so that we can see that how many number of elements are there in my list. So 3 elements are there and my topmost element is 3. Now I'm going to perform the delete operation, that is pop. So I'm going to choose the choice as 2, press enter, topmost element is delete. Okay, now if I'll choose third choice, traversal, it will show me 2 elements now. So I can scroll it up to show you. Earlier, my top was indicating third element, but now my top is indicating 2. Why? Because third element is deleted from the list, from the stack. So as I told you that in case of insertion, top is incremented by 1 each and every time. But in case of popping out the element, it will be decremented by 1 each and every time. So if one element is deleted, my top will be decremented by 1. Now again, let's say I want to remove one more element. So I'm going to choose the option as 2. So it is showing the topmost element is deleted. Which one is the topmost element right now? This 2. Okay. So if I traverse the list again, it is left with one element only. And that element is indicated as top. Now again, if I'll perform the delete operation, that means pop operation, what will happen? It will again show that the topmost element is deleted. That means only one element was there in my stack and that is also deleted now. Now what should be displayed in traversal? Let's check it. 3. And now it is showing underflow. And underflow we have checked in case of stack is empty. Because now my top is pointing towards -1, not 0. So this is how we perform push, pop, and traverse operations in stack. And we have learned that how to create a menu-driven program for the same. Now, this is a very simple program which I have told you by taking only one variable inside, which is number. Now I'm going to modify the same program having two variables, like if I want to maintain the record of a student. So roll number of the student I need and the name of the student I need. So what can I do in that case where I need two variables? So I'll be doing it in this way. In place of num, I'm writing roll number. So roll number is an integer. So I'm writing enter the roll number, right? And here I'm going to write name. So I need not to use int over here. I'll be writing enter the name, right? And here I have taken one list and I'll be adding both the variables inside the same variable. That means my REC variable is going to hold two values together in the form of a list. And finally, this complete list is appended into my stack list. Rest of the program will remain same. I'm not going to touch anything in this. Now, let's review the complete program that I need to make a change anywhere else or not. So I guess the program is okay. Now I can run it. So press F5 key and let's check. So I'm going to insert the element push operation, roll number 1, and name is let's say XYZ. Now, do you want to add more records? Yes, of course. Roll number 2. Second is PQR. Yes, of course, I want to add one more record. Roll number is 3, and I can write MNO. Now, I don't want to add more records here, and now I want to traverse. So it is showing 3 records over here along with the topmost indication. Now, if I want to remove the record, then I'll press 2 and the topmost element is deleted. So let's traverse it again. Now I'm left with 2 records over here and the topmost element is this. Now again I'm going to pop out one record. So the topmost element is deleted. This was my topmost element. So it is removed. Let's check it. So now my top is indicating only one element which is left in my stack. So if I remove that also, element will be deleted and I will not left with a single element at least in my stack, and it will be showing under flow. That means all the elements are removed. So this is how we maintain a program of stack. We can take 2 or more values also in a single record. As I can show you again, that 2 is the roll number of a child, PQR is the name of the child, and both the values are one record. And 2 records are shown over here. So inside one record also we can take more than 2 values. And I have shown you that how can we do it. And if I want to represent this record in a simple format, so what can I do for the same? I can come over here and I can write roll number comma name is equal to stack of I. That means stack of I values I am going to store in different two variables, and then I'll be printing those two different variables in this way. Similarly, I can do it here also, that roll number comma name is equal to stack of top, and then I'll be printing roll number and name. So by doing this change, the list will not appear in the list format. That means my stack elements will appear simply. So let's run it once more. F5. I'm going to push the elements. So roll number is 1. Values are PQR. And then I want to add one more record. So roll number is 2, M and O. Then I want to add one more record. Roll number is 3. Then I can say XYZ. And I don't want to add more records, so I can traverse it now. So my list will appear in this way now. That means my stack will simply be displayed in this way. And now if I'll remove, then again the same thing will happen. So it depends upon the user's choice that how a user wants to display the elements onto the output screen. So as I told you earlier also, that basically we are working upon the list, but the concept which we are using behind is stack. So today we have learned that how can we implement stack operations with the help of list. So keep practicing, keep watching. I will come with more information in my next tutorial. Till then, stay safe, stay happy.